Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Unexplained Cases Live. We've got a special one for you tonight. You've got Rick Garner, Darren Dedo, Maryam the Medium, and joining us live from Magnolia Hall down in my stomping grounds, as they say, would be Mr. Brian Riley. Welcome to the show, Brian.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I've been looking forward to this all week.
We have as well because, besides the location, I would say that Darren and I go a ways back with you, basically. So back when we kind of first started the Unexplained there, right, Darren?
Yeah, it's like is that 20 years? Is that possible?
That is possible.
Yeah, right around that.
Wasn't it McRaven? Was that the first time in Vicksburg that we worked with you? I remember you had something with a temperature gun in one of the rooms where it was like going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was McRaven.
Yep, absolutely. And then,
and then what? 2000 or 2011 at Alice Jackson's house, which I guess they call the Mississippi House. That was great, man. What do you remember about that night? I just remember the feeling inside the house was just kind of eerie. The energy.
It was a very weird energy within that house. One thing that stuck out in my mind the most was whenever we were doing the session upstairs.
Yep.
In the room, not the master bedroom, but the room next to it. I think it had 2 beds in it and had a big dresser with a TV on it.
Yep.
And the flashlight and the K2 meter were just going nuts. It was like constant communication. Right. Or this person, turn it on, light it up, and it would happen. And then turn it off, and it would turn off. And I think it was like 30 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. No, that's it, man. That was great. That was amazing. The interaction, the intelligence of what was going on. With that haunting, I think there was a few EVPs that you captured from what I remember. Yeah. So I guess we fast forward. Well, actually, let's go backwards. Mississippi Paranormal Society. You formed that in 1995. What was there something that got you interested in the paranormal? Did you have an experience, or you had a family member or a friend that had something happen?
I had some small experiences just here and there, and I just couldn't explain it. And around 1994, I met these good old boys. They like to pretty much just go out with a 6-pack in a graveyard or a cemetery out the back roads, and they call themselves ghost hunters. They had like the old style cassette recorder.
Yeah.
And I went with them a few times, got booked. 1995, I was like with some friends, and I was like, let's just do this. Let's form our own group. Let's help people. And 25 years later, almost 25, just a couple of months, about a month and a half actually, before the anniversary date.
And you're from one of my favorite places, Vicksburg. Loved it. I mean, used to go there all the time. Is that where you first started investigating? They call it the River City, correct?
Yeah, Vicksburg, the surrounding areas, sometimes in Louisiana, all over the state. Sometimes ventured out. Let's see, mostly for the first 15 years, private residences.
Mm-hmm.
And then started branching out around 2010 into a lot of the historical places, because by that time, because of the paranormal TV shows, a lot of historic places were starting to really catch on. And they were starting to be more welcoming of things. Because, I mean, here in Mississippi, you're in the Bible Belt. And the paranormal, ghosts, that was all taboo stuff. So because of the TV shows by 2010 coming along, it was more welcome. And groups were starting to go into places like Magnolia Hall, Duff Green Mansion, McRaven, Cedar Grove, King's Tavern.
Cedar Grove. A lot of places that Rick and I investigated, way back when. I think people thought we were crazy too at the end of the 90s and the beginning of the 2000s. Well, you mentioned Magnolia Hall, Natchez, another city, just gorgeous. Love the people down there, real salt of the earth. What's the story behind? Because tonight you're going to be doing a live investigation at Magnolia Hall. What's the story behind it, and why is it haunted?
It was built in 1858. Thomas Henderson was the builder. He was a widower. He passed away in his home in 1863. His family lived here on and off. Then the Britton family moved in here. Then it was turned into trying to remember.
Is it like a museum, or was it like one of the social places,
like
or something like that?
It was almost like some kind of home. I can't remember for who. And then the Natchez Garden Club ended up buying it, and they did the full restoration and everything. And now it's a tour home. A lot of weird things have happened over the years, going back to the 1980s. Some of the recorded phenomenon that's occurred. The bedroom I'll probably take y'all in first, which is, well, I don't want to give too much away for Miriam. I want to see if she
Thank you,
Brian. It's on in there. It's if there's paranormal activity has happened in this house, basically. Things have moved, lights flickering, disembodied voices, footsteps, knocks. Whenever teams will come in and investigate, they'll manipulate the equipment and everything. So you have pretty much the whole gambit of activity that can happen here.
Awesome. Hey, real quick before I turn over to Rick, I didn't know if you wanted to tell the viewers what type of equipment that you were going to use tonight, if they're spirit box or SLS camera.
Yeah, I went earlier and just set equipment out all over the house, especially in the hot rooms where we've had activity. K2 meters, EMF detectors like K2 meters, Mel meters, ghost meter, flashlights, REM pods. I have a spirit box and an obelisk with me.
Nice.
What else do I have?
It's a full gambit of technology.
Yeah, I pretty much have every handheld piece of equipment you can pick up.
He brought it all out, and we'll transition into the investigation by saying I was very pleased to hear Brian mention what really he prefers as the best device, if you will, to use, and that would be one's own body. It's you can have all these wonderful gadgets. They're great for TV. They're helpful to show somebody something, but the actual body itself becomes really your best tool there. So we can actually start rolling. And so I guess I will hand the baton there, so to speak, over to Miriam, and I'm going to step away and let y'all do your thing.
All right, man.
All right. Me and Darren. So Brian, you mentioned the bedroom. Tell me where you want to go first.
Let's go over there. Turn this camera around.
Now, when you say the bedroom, is that where Thomas Henderson and his wife resided?
Well, Thomas did.
Okay.
And this is his actual bed right here.
Okay, so that one, I want to make sure I'm looking at the same picture. Is there dolls in that one?
No.
No. Okay, hold on. Let me find that one in here. Oh, here it is. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So you've got, let's do this. I already was picking up on, for some reason, there's some really angry, negative energies that live in this home. It's not presenting itself as a warm, fuzzy, comfortable living space. I'm not picking up on that yet. Doesn't mean that didn't exist. It's just that's not what we're seeing here.
I can understand that. There have been times where we have walked into certain rooms, this room sometimes. We did find out that what was once several years back used as an apartment used to be the slave quarters.
Yeah.
And it had a really heavy feeling in there, not very welcoming, like, why are you in my area? Get out, kind of feeling.
Yeah.
It can make you really feel uneasy in that area, which we'll go up there as well.
So that there's slave quarters is definitely something that came up. There's one particular energy that's really strong and really aggressive and really angry and really dominates the territory of this home. I don't even know if this energy has had life experiences in this home. This energy doesn't feel like it's actually been in body for a long time, and it's taken over this place, if you will. So he runs this space, and then there's all these little energies, which we've seen this before. I'm sure Darren's like, we've heard this. This has been shown to us before in other locations, where you've got this one big energy, and then you have all these other energies that live kind of underneath it, if you will. It's not an ideal setup for these beings. Some of these beings need to move out of there, be freed from that, no longer need to be enslaved, if you will, by this larger force. There's so many spirits in this home. So there's going to be some that we may need to pass over. Then there's going to be some that are going to stay. They're already telling me all of this. And so this major being first is what I want to address, this one being. Okay. Has there been like broken windows or things like shattered or moved, like objects moved, like massive, like acknowledgements that there's something in that space? That meaning the home itself, not necessarily that room.
Broken glasses, I would have to ask Christine. I've never heard of any incidences like that. Objects being moved, yes.
Broken glass, and let me correct them. They're saying broken glass, not glasses. Sorry.
Like a window. Like in present time, or because back in the Civil War, Brian, they got shelled by the Essex. What is that? A gunboat for the Union. Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming there was broken glass. Maryam, are you picking up like on our time period or like years ago?
Yeah, that's a good question, because that's being like really clear, like this broken windows, broken glass. I thought they were referencing recently. That was my first impression when it was said. So this is what was being said, is there's been a lot of like moving objects, windows breaking. This energy, this specific energy that I'm dealing with is really is super dark, like he's in there and he's just got this his hand, if you will, over everyone else, all the other beings in that home, and just will not release anybody. There's actually spirits stuck in this house. So
Skeleton Crew, I was sorry to interrupt, but the Skeleton Crew Paranormal, they said, are the spirits angry because they were in the Civil War? I don't know if there's any connection to, if this was some military person, somebody in command. Because Thomas was in the Confederate Army.
Yeah,
Tom
right.
And John Waldo were.
Right now, this is so I'm dealing it's very clear who I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with this one energy, which has to be addressed in a minute. But there's a lot of slave energy, beings that have been stuck since they were slaves. Right now, that's what I'm picking up on. I can tell there's other little areas there that have families and more military type. But right now, this is specifically slaves, and this is also I want to address this energy that's in this home, that's taken over this home.
Okay.
He's the one that's spoken through a lot of the equipment. This is definitely an energy that will pose as whoever you are wanting it to be. This is not an energy that's honest, will tell you what you want to hear, will say what you want to, say whatever it needs to say to behave like, pretend like it's a female or a male, like it just is all over the place. So and it's not that surprising, it's not surprising at all that life imitates spirit, spirit imitates life, and so you have a ton of beings that are being incredibly repressed by this big energy, and those beings, those souls that are being repressed were slaves. And then you have this massive being so they died and they're stuck, they're still in this same space. So I want to be able to let them go, but I need to address this being, because this being's not going to leave. So I'm not going to even go there with him right now, asking him to leave. I'm just going to approach him and take these people's souls back, basically. That's the first order of business. So
real quick, let's check in with Brian. How's your equipment? Is that with your K2 and your REM pod? Anything at all going on over there?
I have the REM pod on the bed, K2 over the bed, and a flashlight table next to where I have the tripod set up that's holding my phone. Nothing has happened in probably, I don't know, how long ago was it whenever I was talking to Rick? About 30, 40 minutes ago. Whenever I got off the phone with him, the REM pod and the flashlight lit up, was going off.
Okay.
It's been fun ever since. It's uneasy in this room. I've been getting chill bumps for 5 minutes straight now. It come and go. My question is, Maryam, can you tell me if this thing ever walked the earth? This big energy that you were describing?
Yeah, right now it's been a long time since he's been in body. So I might get some more information as I approach him and remove these spirits from his possession, basically.
Okay.
So I'm approaching him. I'm approaching the house, basically, because that's where he resides.
Okay.
And I'm just now outside the front door. And yeah, so I mean, this is the usual kind of the same story we always get. They don't want me coming in. They don't want me messing with his territory. So I'm talking to him right now. So you can stay, but I'm taking about 8 different souls. You don't get to keep any longer.
8.
So, yeah, there's probably more, but there's 8 specific that I've been told to go in and take.
So not necessarily where Brian is, but throughout the house, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
We're not necessarily. I'm not in that room. I'm still outside. So I'm gonna walk in. So okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna come in. I'm gonna take what's mine, and then we'll come back. He's saying he's not letting you. I'm allowed in, so I'm just gonna come in. He's telling me if I come in, he's not gonna let anyone talk through any of the machines. He's gonna make sure everyone's silent the entire night. Okay.
Well, that's not cool.
It's fine. I mean, there's also souls that are stuck there, so I'm not going to leave the souls just so he can talk through the machine.
I got the obelisk with me, just in case someone wants to try to come through.
we've got other spirits there that can talk to us. So you're not as in control as you think you are. I'm telling him this, that he can block, he can only block so much. So, okay, I'm in the entry that, like, I just walked through the front door. I'm in the entryway there. And I'm here to collect 8, they said specifically. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So I've gathered these beings together. Is there anything you guys want to say, or is there anyone that wants to speak through any of the devices that are there? Is there anything that wants to be said? They're saying they just want to get the hell out of there. I'm going to round you up and just release you. This will be easy. They all want to go anyway. Okay, so all right, so they're gone. That's good. So all right, so now as we deal with this being, there's a woman that's going to be willing to talk, but we got to work through this guy right now. So
any type of a name for the woman, or any initials, or
I heard an S, like a Susie or a Susan.
Okay.
She has. Sorry, I didn't hear that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying I wasn't familiar with anyone with an S right off. There's been so many people in this house. I've always just said straight. Whatever.
Oh.
What happened?
So the obelisk just said straight.
Brian, could you tell her what an obelisk is, just to kind of fill her in?
It's pretty much a device that just has a word bank dictionary installed into it, and it's believed that spirits will manipulate it, the biometric pressure, temperature, EMF, everything around the device, and that will enable them to communicate through it.
Okay, so it just said straight after I said Susan?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. So she's in the bedroom that has there has dolls in it. Which one? Not that one. This one. The one that has the dolls and the kids and the stroller.
Okay. We'll go upstairs on that one.
She's been there for a long time. She was there Civil War. God, I don't know my wars. So Civil War.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah, it was built.
Okay.
This house was built right before the Civil War. So
Okay.
yes, it was there.
Civil War. She had 3 kids, 3 girls.
Oh, seriously? Keep going. I'm sorry that you just said something that I found out tonight.
What?
I think it was a niece of Mr. Henderson. She came to live with them, and she had 3 daughters.
Wow.
Okay.
Spot on.
So, how does Maryam talk to the spirits while she's telling us what's going on? It's not easy.
Very carefully.
Right. It's kind of like a radio signal, so I'm like kind of repeating what they say. That's a good question. It's a hard question to answer. So we'll just call her Susan for now. I don't know if that's right, but we'll go with that. 3 girls. Has stayed in this home with these 3 girls. They died. Oh, she was saying she was the one that was telling me about the windows blowing out. That was when she lost her husband. That was when, is that when you lost your lives? We didn't die here, but we didn't die here, she's saying, but that was something that was experienced. She said it was a horrible existence. She hated living during that time. It was violent and awful. And she's saying that even like hygiene was just awful. Everything about that era is terrible. Why are you still there then? Why are you staying there? She says she's staying there because she wants to stay with her girls. But you don't feel like you and your girls can go over together? She says, I don't want to. She doesn't want to. She wants to stay right there. She does not want to have to come back in body. This is sounding exactly like my mom. Is that you, Mom? If she's watching, she'll totally get the joke. She's got 3 girls. Her name's Susan, and she does not want to come back again.
Hey, Alston had asked about feeling the presence of maybe a guy in his 50s that's well dressed. Any you picking up on anything? You know, maybe a gentleman of the day back then in the Civil War era.
Yeah, I'm seeing. For me, he's single. He's a businessman. He's super arrogant, super like, and maybe arrogant's not fair, just very confident, very well established. He lived there for a very short period of time. He didn't die there either, but what's weird is there's something about this home that these spirits come back to. It's like a safety net. It's like a safe haven. And so he came back. It's like there's so much happening in this home in so many ways. It's like this different from Alice's home, Darren. Remember how there was so much going on over there? This home this home has like families set up that just like these people kept that persona from that existence and don't want to give it up. And it's like this home allows them to just stay like that. And I wouldn't even use the word stuck for them. It's just
sort of like a beacon. They're just like, hey, we're going to go to, we're going to hang out in Magnolia Hall. We like it. You know, it's enjoyable there. It makes them feel comfortable. Maybe, 150 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
I can see that about the, I'm sorry, where you said that they come back to because they're comfortable. The Hendersons had family in and out of this house a lot over the years. And well, one of his nieces and her kids, they lived here for I don't know how long, but they, a good while. I'm pretty sure Thomas Alexander, the son, and John Waldo, they were probably in and out of this house, spending a great deal of time here. Julia, she never married or anything. She lived here. And
she was really sick, right? She had a lot of health problems.
She was a very sickly person.
So
I don't know if you feel anything about that, Maryam.
Julia in particular?
Yeah, it sounds like she was in constant bad health, but she was, very smart, of course, of the day, very Christian. Maybe that's, even though she was sick, maybe it brought her comfort being there. I don't know. I'm just guessing here.
Yeah.
No, because she actually took care of her dad.
Oh, okay. So, Mr. Henderson?
So, what's interesting is I'm not really picking up on Julie yet. Doesn't mean she's not there. She's not really showing herself yet.
It's more of the niece.
This woman and her kids, this gentleman that other person pointed out is absolutely there. And there's this, there's like, it's a slave owner that's, wandering this home, but he's mean. I mean, he's not very nice. He's very aggressive. He's actually kind of abusive. Everyone stays away from him. And he's just wandering this. The reason why he's there is because he doesn't want to pass over, because he relished in being in power and being controlling others. And he knows as soon as he passes over, he's going to be paying a heavy debt for that. So he's not willing to move on. He's just wandering, just like stuck in this like circle of just anger and just loop, right? He doesn't want to get out. And
he may be mad that the South lost the war too. I mean, I don't
probably.
know. It probably
it just
changed
anything
a lot of things.
Yeah, anything that changed his ability to be in control and in power, he's not happy about. He's wandering the grounds, he's wandering the house. But what's interesting is these spirits kind of leave each other alone. This massive other dark being that I keep referencing, that it's that being is what kind of keeps this place and these people here, and it keeps the energy stagnant, and if this being could be released, a lot of these people who say they're just staying because it's comfortable and nostalgic may not stay. This presence that's over this home goes way beyond.
Well, that's what Tress was asking. How can one spirit confine others? Do the others just become submissive?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of them don't realize that they're being confined. We saw this in that school we did way back, where there was one being over the entire school. These spirits, because these spirits all had something in common. When they were in body, they were controlled by something or someone else. And so it feels comfortable for them to continue to be controlled. Those 8 slaves that I removed were aware that that was not a choice, that was not something they wanted to remain as. They did not want to remain controlled. They wanted their freedom. These beings are fooled into thinking that they're free, quote unquote. But like this woman, she was very much controlled by her husband. This man in the suit, single dude, was very much controlled by money. And then the slave owner was simply controlled by power. And so that's why they are able to stay there and don't feel this presence over them, because being controlled is what's comfortable for them.
Ironically, Mr. Henderson was a bookkeeper for a bank back in the day. I don't know if money controlled him, but he might have been controlling money for other people.
Yeah, sure. Thomas Alexander, I think that's the one that was the bookkeeper. The 2 sons did a lot of different things. I can't keep them straight half the time. The senior, Thomas Henderson, the father, he was a cotton broker. So
interesting.
Money into he had his hands into several businesses, if I'm not mistaken. I keep hearing footsteps up here.
Where are you? What room are you in?
I'm in the room with the dolls. Straight over there, there's dolls right here.
Yeah, that one. Oh, yeah.
Mentioned about the girl.
Hearing
such a cold spot in a minute.
And you're hearing footsteps?
I heard footsteps that I couldn't pinpoint if it was across the hall or in the hall. And then I heard boards speaking in the children's room right next to what they call the children's room.
So the footsteps you're hearing are 2 sisters. They are different sisters they're not a part of the mom and the 3 girls. These are 2 sisters. I think they might even be another group of 3 women. 2 of them were sisters. One may have been a friend. They came to this house for parties, actually regularly. And they came to this house for parties to actually meet potential husbands, suitors, I guess they called them, right?
Yes, of course.
And so there were like mixers and parties, and these women. So these 3 women are walking. They're in that general vicinity of where you're at. And they again they're staying there because they're stuck in this loop of that's funny, actually. It reminds me, I tried to give a reference before of Disneyland reference. Anyone know, like the Pirates of the Caribbean? Remember the women with the guy chasing them on that thing?
Oh yeah, on the loop that are going around, which which Brian, that's a residual haunting. Maybe these individuals are they're stuck in that time period doing the same thing over and over again.
Very possible. Very possible. Yeah. I've always thought there is a lot of residual energy in this house, and it just plays out whenever. Maryam can pick up on that, definitely. it probably has a different feeling than an intelligent haunting, an actual spirit. It's not really a memory playing out, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why I have a cold spot. There's no vents around me.
And of course, it's 90 degrees with about 90% humidity in Mississippi today.
Yeah. I had a cold spot. It was a little bit lower, but right here, right where I was standing.
So right behind your left shoulder is one of these women I'm referencing.
Right.
And the other two are on the opposite end of the room.
So they're right here by the bed.
These three women don't have the ability, they don't have the strength to communicate with a machine. It takes a specific energy to be able to actually speak through these machines or utilize them or use them. And these women, their energy isn't that strong. So they're not going to be able to come through. Something else may be able to come through, but they won't. But that's the cold you're feeling, Brian.
Okay. I was wondering. I felt like I wasn't alone. And then
yeah, you're not.
Footsteps. Then I got the cold real quick.
The footsteps are the footsteps is the slave owner I told you about.
Okay, that'd be Mr.
That would what?
Mr. Henderson, right?
Yeah, Mr. Henderson. He had 6 or 8 slaves.
Oh, okay.
And they were just house slaves. I don't know how well he treated them, if he treated them good or if he treated them bad. Being a very Christian person, I would think that he might have treated them pretty good, even if they were slaves. But
this is the guy that I was saying was super angry, that lived off of power, that doesn't want to pass over because he doesn't want to lose control. So it's either a different person that you're referencing, or I mean, this guy is not good to his people and relishes power. So, and he stomped.
That don't sound like Mr. Henderson at all, or anyone in his family.
Hey, Brian, real close to where you are by that doorway, Renee Turner says, I thought I saw a head move by the doorway. Maryam said there was something behind you. Maybe, this is who we're picking up on.
This is the kind of house where anything can happen at any moment. It's like I shine my flashlight into one room, we're out in the hallway. I think I'm going to see somebody standing.
Wow. Okay, that's creepy.
It's just that heavy of a feeling. If there's a spirit anywhere on this floor, you have the energy to turn on the light or make one of my devices sound that you've done before in the past. It won't hurt you. Go over here into the children's room.
Okay, absolutely. And just so people know, Brian, you're absolutely by yourself. So, I mean, if you heard footsteps or creaking or anything like that, there's no living person with you. You're completely solo there at the hall, at Magnolia Hall.
Christine, who is with the Natchez Garden Club, runs and owns Magnolia Hall. She's in the office, which is unattached from the house, right next to the house.
Okay.
So yeah, it's me. I'm the only living person here.
Which room are you in now?
I am in the children's room. It's the bed, and I'll show you one. I had a problem with my SLS camera, the structured light sensor camera earlier. That video that I showed you, I tagged y'all in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the stroller that we had a stick figure appear in.
Okay. Danielle,
in
you
that.
have a great point about himself portraying himself one way into the public and his true self to be totally different. That's such a great point, Danielle. But sorry, Brian, you were saying there was a stick figure where?
On the SLS camera, right here in his stroller, we had a stick figure appearing in that last time we were here.
Okay, I want to see that stroller. Is this, weren't we just in this room or no?
No,
No, I don't.
we were.
No.
No, the stroller. Okay, so this is,
Okay. I don't know if you can see it or not.
are there, oh, there's a dress in there. Are there dolls in this one?
They're mannequins that can hold, that just, they have dresses on.
Okay, I'm
But
trying
yeah,
to
there's a
find,
stroller right there.
I'm trying to find the room you're in.
And
This
these are
room is gonna be
real dresses, right? I mean, this is from the time period, correct?
I don't think these are original.
Oh, okay. Alrighty.
Yeah, Miriam, this room has been recently rearranged with the beds.
Oh, okay.
This big bed right here was on the left side of the room, and this crib or baby bed was where they're opposite changed.
Okay. Okay, I'm wondering if I have that one. Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's see. I don't have a picture that has that crib in there. Danielle's saying there's a woman in the room. Who's the woman in the room? Are you saying behind the cradle?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out myself. That's what I was going to ask you.
You might probably meant
maybe a
behind.
mother figure.
Probably by the cradle.
By
Oh,
the
okay.
cradle.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, let's see.
Making noise.
Oh, that's a woman by the cradle. Yeah, that's a woman whose baby died. She was stillborn.
Oh wow.
Renee says somebody is watching you there, so I don't know. They're somebody's there with you. That's what Renee says.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
So there's a woman in there. She's rocking that cradle. She lost stillborn when her baby died. She pretty much kind of died with her. I think she may have even actually died with her because at that time they couldn't save both of them. So she's in there, but she's really so stuck in her grief. She's not even aware that Brian's there.
Yeah, that I would see that maybe as a residual type haunting. If she's not even aware that I'm here and I was right by the, she still think. I think that's my opinion. She would probably be just residual haunting. This room, a lot of people, they have the feeling of always being watched, and somebody around me, I feel like somebody touched the top of my head.
What happened?
It felt like just little prickly things right on my hair, right on top of my head, right here.
Okay, so you have the woman in there. You have
you got the mother with the child.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out whatever you just experienced on your head that was like, you're experiencing that presence of that massive energy I was feeling, that big energy. He's just starting to kind of do this, move in. He's starting to move in. You might start to feel like a little claustrophobic. You might start to feel like a little, not like trouble breathing, but just kind of like this heaviness because he's just trying to push you out.
I actually, whenever I came up here earlier, I was setting my equipment out throughout the house. I got into this room and I was standing right up. it was a very heavy feeling. And I started talking to him saying, hey, I've been here before. I told him why I was here. After a couple of minutes, it just kind of gradually went away. And I just felt,
Yeah, he's just making sure that you're not there to remove anyone or anything. And he's like, he comes in every now and then and tells me if I'm not careful, he's gonna scare you, he's gonna harm you, but he's not gonna.
But he still doesn't want to utilize the equipment, though.
No, he doesn't want to give us. As long as I'm there, he's not going to give you what you want. At least he won't. He has immense power and capability to move those machines, to speak through them, to do all kinds of stuff. And he keeps telling me, as long as you're here, meaning me, he's not going to do anything. He's not going to do anything supportive. He has the capability to harm and to hurt. And he's scared people pretty bad. But he's unable to do that right now because I'm in that space. So he's just trying to push his weight around.
He's a bully. He's a paranormal bully.
As many times as I've been here, he should know that, I don't put up with that kind of stuff, and I'm not looking for, a confrontation with anything like that. I'm a real easygoing guy, so he should know, steer clear of me, because he might scare me for a second, but I got holy water in the car, dude. I ain't afraid to use it.
He's funny. He's just listening to what you're saying, Brian. I'm laughing because he's just like, he doesn't really know what to do with himself. He part of the reason why he leaves you alone too is because you're not there to influence or change what
Right.
he has set up.
Right. If it comes down to it, he starts making a mess of this place, scaring people constantly, hurting anyone. Oh yeah, we'll come in and we'll, do our best to take care of him. But, I don't know if I could ever remove him myself, even with cleansings and blessings. I'd probably need somebody stronger faith come in and do that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if he's supposed to remain there or not. I don't really feel like he is. I don't think that that's for him. I don't feel like this is right. The dominance over this home. So I'm gonna deal with him just right now.
Hey, Tress had asked, how does the spirit gain such strong energy? So where's this guy drawing his energy from?
That's a really good question. This guy hasn't been in body for so long, so he's just been utilizing and practicing and managing his power. It's like no different than me being in body and learning how to utilize my, psychic ability. This spirit is out of body, but learning and practicing and finding beings he can manipulate and just kind of gaining his power. Just like, someone who is a controlling human being will bring to him people that can be controlled. And that's the spirit's
Right.
doing the exact same thing. He's just attracting to himself beings that he can control. So it's allowing him to be this big, strong, crazy force. Ultimately, you take away beings that no longer want to be controlled, and his control obviously disappears or diminishes. But he does have, he's a very real threat. It's not a joke. He has the capability. He knows how to work energy. He knows how to use it. So you guys go ahead and do your thing. I'm gonna try and clear him.
Okay.
Hey, Brian, you had straight on the ovulus. Has anything else popped up at all? Any other words?
Just the oddest words, period, beans, and text.
Period,
what kind of,
beings, and text. Okay.
yeah, I don't know what kind of message that's supposed to be, but okay.
Are the K2s, any of those been lighting up at all? Or are they pretty quiet?
Nothing.
Haven't heard a REM pod either.
I've had more experiences myself, just hearing sounds, feeling cold spots. Of course, the obelisk has said it's a few things. Most of it doesn't make sense.
How's the EMF in that place?
It's pretty low. I did a baseline sweep, and I think the highest it was 0.2.
Okay.
So, temperature right now is 77.5. Wow. I need to turn the air on.
All right. So I have removed him. So you should be able to get a lot more reception now on your devices because he's been removed. So we've freed up a lot of, it's like we've almost taken the roof off the house. And so now these spirits can soar if they want, but they can also communicate if they want.
Right.
Their energy was so dim and so low because he was managing them and overpowering them. So now that that's gone, we should be able to get some communication. These 3 women in particular are starting to feel a little bit stronger. The mom with the baby that she lost, I don't think that's going to change. The mom with the 3 girls, she's kind of, you've got to seek out, which sounds like, Brian, the right spirits, because some of these spirits are just there to loop through their own karma and manage their karma. They're not there to engage. And then some of the spirits want to engage and want to be there. So you should start I would say, even after we're done tonight, you should leave the cameras rolling. You should be getting some stuff. There should be some communication should be opening up now.
Okay. I want to come back in here in the children's room real quick. Just ask a couple of questions.
Yeah.
I'm going to aim this towards the bed. I have a periscope that lights up different colors and a flashlight on the bed. If there's a spirit in here and you want to communicate and let me know that you're in here, you are more than welcome to light one of those devices up on that bed. They won't hurt you. They're just for communication purposes. The one on the right side of the bed, it lights up pretty colors. Just a few seconds, and I'm going to go downstairs. Hit Mr. Thomas's room before we end.
You have 3 kids in there. Are you still in there? That same room?
I'm in the children's room next to the one with the dolls.
Yeah, it's definitely still the children's room. There's definitely still kids in there. Lots of kids. It's just a matter of teaching them, Brian, how to use the equipment, which they're saying you can do. You have the capability to teach spirits how to communicate using those machines. It just is a matter of repetition and practice.
Okay.
What's going on?
Whoop.
Push your energy into that light and it'll light up.
Was something going on?
He's trying to get one of the devices to light up. He's asking for the spirit to light up. Is that your K2, Brian?
That's just a flashlight.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
Yeah. This room, it's just quiet tonight. This is usually the room where we have a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, part of the reason is when we disconnect, you should get more response. These energies are communicating with me because it's easier to talk to me than to talk through a machine. True. So once while you were just a few minutes ago, I was telling the kids I was redirecting the kids to you, but it's hard because it's it's easier for them to communicate through me. So they're kind of taking the easy road.
Yeah.
Brian, do you have is the REM pod with you in that room? Do you have a REM pod
Yeah,
with
it's
you?
right here actually, and I just saw what Kathy said.
Hi, Kathy.
So, if you come over to this device, just get near this little middle piece, and it'll light up. And it'll make a weird noise. So can you do that for me? You can do it after I leave the room. I might hear it. Because that's what happened earlier in Mr. Henderson's bedroom. I set everything out, and the flashlight came on. And I could hear the REM pod go off. And I walked back into his room, and his flashlight was right on. And I was like, "Can you turn it off?" And
that
he turned
happened
it
tonight?
off. Yeah, right before, right after I got off the phone with Rick the first time when we were doing the test stream to see how well the connection was.
So before we end, because I know we're coming close, Brian, I need to pass on some information to you. It's something that you probably already know, but they're showing me, like, I'm gonna explain to you what I'm being shown, and then anyway, it's like they're showing me you have this ability to run like a school for spirits, and you can teach spirits how to speak through these machines. And so it's like they're showing you as like a professor, and then all of your students are spirits, and you're just teaching them how to communicate with humans, and that's what you were brought to do, and that these this next part of your life, like where you've been now, has gotten you here, obviously. That sounded silly, but I'm going somewhere with this. But this next chapter that you're about to embark on, they're saying they want you to see this as, you see yourself as a professor who teaches spirits how to utilize machines. And so you are going to be asked to change the way that you do these investigations so that they are more of teaching experiences, teaching moments. Take more time with one spirit, one being. Sit down with, like you would teach a child, right? Like if you were to teach a child how to tie their shoes, you would sit down with them, you would get down to their level, and you would take however much time it needs to do what you need to do. And they're saying that they want you to do that. They want you to move away from this traditional sense of ghost hunting and create this new way of doing it. And you're actually going to have so much success. You're going to be able to get so much connection through the devices that you'll actually be able to teach other people in body what you're doing. But first, you have to kind of ground this school, if you will. So they keep repeating themselves. They're saying you're a professor, your school is filled with spirits, and you're learning how to communicate. Because you're so nurturing and you're so respectful, but you're who you are, who your higher consciousness is. You are a teacher, and that's what you came to teach. Not teach humans, teach spirits. And then later on, if you want to teach humans through your work, you can, but most humans are going to learn by watching your work. And so you're going to want to record these sessions, and they're even saying, like, if you're not good with editing, then ask, one of us to help you edit it down so that we can watch the results and how you're getting it. But they're saying, change the way, step away from the traditional way of ghost hunting for you, and step into this school and see yourself as this professor.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool.
I will definitely take that to heart.
Well, so we're down to like less than a minute. So my goodness, this has been, as we expected, a lot crammed into an hour and a fascinating journey. Yeah. Brian, how can anyone find out about Mississippi Paranormal Society and what you're up to?
Mississippi Paranormal Society, we have a website. Just Google it. MississippiParanormalSociety.weebly.com. Facebook page under the same name. Find me, Brian Riley, on Instagram and Twitter. Also, I just brought my podcast back. Did our first live last night. I do a lot of pre-recorded. I'm going to be releasing them once, twice a week, something like that. It's called the MPS Case Files, where I'm going to be talking our investigations and different topics and everything.
Awesome. Brian, I hate to cut you, but we're actually out of time. But dude, thanks so much for tonight. Thanks.
That was awesome.
Thank you, Brian. That was fun.
Appreciate seeing you, bud.